Hey there, I'm DPadGamer, and you might have noticed that it's currently November, which means it's once again Zelda month. If you don't know, Zelda month is what Peanut Butter Gamer started back in 2011 to celebrate the release of Skyward Sword. Like many others, I also decided to participate. In 2016, I posted my video on Easter eggs in Skyward Sword, then glitches in 2017, and now glitches in A Link Between Worlds here in 2018. However, before we get onto the glitches, I'd like to highlight and thank TheLegendOfZaheer for making this video possible. He is a Zelda speedrunner who currently holds the world record in both the 80% and 100% categories for A Link Between Worlds, and he graciously gave me the go-ahead to showcase footage from his runs in this video. You can find a hyperlink to his Twitch in the description. Now for the other kind of link, let's jump into Super Paper Zelda proper. So I think that for this game, the glitches are most easily understood in the context of a speedrun, so we're going to be following along with Mr. Zaheer's run. It plays like normal until you receive the bundled up sword from the blacksmith. Rather than taking it to the castle, you want to head north for the first glitch of the run. That being a bit of simple damage boosting using this oddly vicious crow. Lead it over to this part of the ledge and walk off just before it hits Link. As Link jumps up, he gets knocked back by the crow over the rocks, which skips needing the power glove to access Death Mountain early. You'll see that as the video progresses, despite this game having a top-down view, it's very much a 3D game, and the glitches exploit that fact. For now though, let's look at how seeing the volcano's eruption cutscene breaks the game. In a run, you'd want to death warp back to Link's house after activating the Death Mountain weather vane. Here, you'll see that Ravio's already appeared and his shop is already set up, which usually doesn't happen until after you've beaten the Eastern Palace. This allows you to rent items early before visiting any of the dungeons, let alone the sanctuary. In this route, Zaheer has enough rupees to grab the fire rod and the bow. At this point, you have the tools to play most of the game, but you can't use the sword until you speak with Dampe at the sanctuary. Following the conflict at the sanctuary, Link will reawaken back at his house, but as you can tell, things aren't normal.
Oh, hello there!
Insert prequel meme here. From here on out, there will always be 2 Ravios in Link's house. The place is a glorified Italian dish. The early Ravio will remain in place in front of the bow, which makes buying it pretty difficult. Meanwhile, the other Ravio will act as normal. At this point, it's worth mentioning that renting the bow early skips the energy gauge being added to your screen. You can also skip it by visiting the Eastern Palace normally, returning to Ravioli, answering his question incorrectly, and then death warping back to Link's house. In this scenario, Ravio asks if you'd want to re-rent the bow for the first time. Either way, if you rent the bow rather than having it gifted to you, the energy gauge is never added until much later on. And when we visit Kakariko Village, there's 2 Sahasralas in his or their house. It also removes Osfala from outside the Eastern Palace, which does save a bit of time. Now once inside the Eastern Palace, we have the first instance of a trick/glitch called Tornado Rod Lifting. The name is pretty descriptive, but as you can see, Link may be pushed slightly while in the air by an enemy, allowing him to walk on top of the wall. Here, that lets you access the boss without first grabbing the boss key, which is quite handy. Bonus glitch thing, in the House of Gales Floor 1, Zaheer makes this glitch look very easy, where he has a 2-frame window to tornado after stepping off the ledge to get on top of this block skipping, merging in that section, which of course saves a bit of time. And jumping forward to the Tower of Hera, there's a trick called bomb rodding where, you guessed it, you can combine the use of the tornado rod with the explosion from a bomb to, in this case, push you up through the ceiling. It's pretty amazing. When it's finally time to visit Hyrule Castle, you'll see that things aren't normal. By enabling item rental early, you can progress the game to the point where you can lock the Dark Barrier with the Master Sword before you even visit Zelda for the first time. As a result, the early game castle visit will progress as normal, except there's enemies present. Regardless, here in the castle we have another use of the Tornado Rod, letting you quickly get from floor 3 to floor 4 with just a quick dash. Next up, there is a fantastic glitch which uses a very simple trick called QE cancelling. In this game, the quick equip function allows you to swap between items, well, quickly. By using an item like the Ice Rod and then cancelling the quick equip, Link can move much sooner than he should be able to. QE cancelling works with the bow, fire rod, hammer, ice rod, and sand rod. Here in the Swamp Palace, QE cancelling is used with the ice rod to clip out of bounds multiple times. It's done by dropping ice into the water, then QE cancelling to allow Link to move under the ice as it falls. This pushes Link out of bounds, as like in most games, this one does not want 2 hitboxes to overlap. Once out of bounds, you simply swim a particular route to reach the boss room and enter the hidden exit without ever having to face the boss in the first place. There's a few more places that you could use Ice Rod clipping this game, but later on, Zaheer combos it with the Tornado Rod to save time getting up onto this ledge. Just after, we have another instance of damage boosting, but this time using the fire rod. It seems pretty minor, but by getting up onto this ledge, it's possible to walk all the way around and skip the entire dungeon palace. You see, for whatever reason, this dungeon is unique in that it has the boss room located directly in the overworld, just on the other side of this wall. Another way you could reach the Desert Palace boss arena is to clip through the portal, which requires an enemy. To do this, let's lure this nearby moblin and then repeatedly stun him with a boomerang or any other non-damaging item that can stun. Once he's dead center in front of the portal, stun him, stand real close, and let him damage Link. In that brief moment of invulnerability, stun the enemy again and stand inside of him. The hope is that Link's hitbox will overlap with the enemy and the game will incorrectly push you to the other side of the wall. Once that's done, just walk or dash up to exit the wall on the other side. Another very cool clip, pun intended, can be found inside the ice ruins. Immediately after entering the dungeon, you naturally turn on the elevator, but as it turns out, this can be used to clip through the floor on level B1 by standing on the very edge of the platform as Link collides with the ceiling. After that, all it takes is a bit of falling down to land in the final room, having skipped the entire dungeon, including the boss. There's another kind of clipping though, I don't have a useful example to show with it, that being hookshot clipping. You see, when Link is clipped inside of something like a fence for example, the hookshot will fly at a very odd angle. That's pretty neat. And a more readily useful glitch can be formed with any puzzle that requires tossing eyeballs onto pedestals, like here in Skull Woods. After picking up the eyeball, its previous position on the ground is stored. In the moments where the eyeball is rolling into place on the pedestal, you can pick it back up. This, in essence, duplicates the eyeball, allowing you to skip the second half of any eyeball puzzle. Now, I know we're near the end of the video, but at this point I'd like to bring up this video's only glitch involving merging, which is this game's one defining mechanic or gimmick, either way. As of now, I don't believe this glitch has any practical use other than existing, but in certain places in the game, it's possible to stand next to a wall, store the merge ability, and activate it away from the wall, which essentially warps Link back to that original position. As an example, this area in the southwest corner of Kakariko Village is one such merge warpable area. Stand near the mergeable wall and either dash away using the Pegasus boots or charge some kind of item while walking away. You can walk away normally once away from the wall, and as you approach the edge of the merge warpable area, the merge button will be very briefly shown on screen. A well-timed A press is required to activate the ability at the right moment. That's really cool, and I'd love to see if anybody could come up with a practical use of it in a run. Anyways, merge warping could be considered a kind of stored glitch, in that you're taking the action, storing it for a while, and then using it later in an unintended location. The Zelda series has no shortage of storage glitches, and this game has at least 2 of them. While swimming in a body of water with walls and a dock, you can perform an animation storage of sorts. If you hold the analog stick towards the dock while also holding the B button and let them go before jumping up, Link will actually store the jump animation. The next time you swim without pressing the B button up against the wall, Link will jump. With this trick, it's possible to jump up onto the ledge of Turtle Rock. Adding on a quick tornado rod usage, you can completely skip having to save the titular turtles around Turtle Rock. Now, finally, I'd like to finish off with yet another useless glitch, which is another kind of storage. Going back a bit, while bomb riding up the Tower of Hera, at any point you have the option of walking straight out of bounds into the void. If you do this on purpose on one of the upper floors, soft resetting during the screen transition will cause the background to be stored. In this clip by another Link Between Worlds speedrunner, Anwonu, I probably said that wrong, you can see that the game incorrectly maintains that screen of the tower in the background of the opening cutscene. From what I understand, this is a memory issue with the game, and trying to do simple things like close an item menu will actually crash the game. No worries though, because crashing the game can also look pretty cool. It's at this point, I think we've covered most of the major glitches that this game has to offer, so I'm going to end the video here. Again, big thanks to TheLegendOfZaheer for allowing him to use his footage, and of course shoutouts to the Link Between Worlds speedrun community for breaking this game apart. Also, thanks for watching this video, and thank you to my new channel members Mason Tier 100 and MLG Roblox. Great name. If you're looking for more Zelda content, I have plenty on my channel. Just click the playlist on screen. That's about it for this one. I'll see you in the next video.